If we want behavior change, we need to bring awareness to it. Everything I'm about to say comes from James Clear's book, Atomic Habits. If you have not read it, strongly recommend. It's a solid read. I recently asked you to perform an exercise where we write out all of our habits and routines throughout the day, from morning to evening and everything in between. When we're bored, stressed, anxious, it's not to bring guilt or shame to what we're doing, but simply to acknowledge the fact of where we're utilizing our time throughout the day. Recognize if it's for or against our current identity and the identity that we're trying to achieve. So again, what is a habit? A habit is behavior that's repeated enough times in response to a problem to hopefully make us more timely and efficient at that problem in the future. Habits are feedback loops, and if we want to get rid of bad habits, we have to interrupt this feedback loop. And if we want to enforce good habits, we have to reinforce the feedback loop. So there's four steps. There's four steps to carrying out a habit. There's cue, craving, response, reward. Cue is the trigger, a bit of information present that tells us there's a reward present or easy to obtain. The craving is us wanting that reward and is an internal motivation or desire to want to carry out the third step, which is response, which is us physically carrying out the habit to want to try to obtain the reward. And fourth is obtaining the reward. Hopefully you satisfy the craving and you learn something to make solving the problem more timely and effortless in the future. Without the first three, the habit will not be carried out. And without the fourth, the reward, the habit will not be repeated. Let's throw out an example here. So you're sitting in a waiting room waiting for an appointment. You're either anxious or bored and you want to whip out your phone to check Instagram to get a quick dopamine hit. So the cue is you're bored or anxious waiting for your appointment. The craving is for the reward of having a dopamine hit by checking Instagram. Your response is you whip out your phone, and the reward is you satisfy by doom scrolling and hopefully getting that dopamine hit. So a quick recap. Cue is about noticing the reward. The craving is about wanting the reward. The response is about obtaining the reward. And the fourth step is about satisfying the craving and learning something. Comes next is the 4 laws of behavior change. If we'd like to enforce a good habit, we need to make it obvious. We need to make it attractive. We need to make it easy. We need to make it satisfying. If we'd like to get rid of a bad habit, we need to make it invisible. We need to make it unattractive. We need to make it difficult. We need to make it unsatisfying.